All right, in this video, I'm going to show you 3 different tools that you can use as you start brainstorming the title for your book. So we've used Chat GPT in past videos. I'm going to show you one thing you can do there that's really cool. Another is this Headline Studio Pro that I really like. Now, this is a paid version of the program. I believe they have a free version where you can even analyze one. Not 100% sure on that. But you can check it out, and if you like it, if you like what you see here, this is definitely worth it if you write blog posts or have any kind of headline needs. This is a great tool that can analyze your headlines. And also, just this basic thesaurus. Never underestimate the power of a good thesaurus when you're stuck for a word. You don't want to just take any word in there, but it's something that you can use. So let's first look at Chat GPT and what you could use to help you with titles. So let's take the title that I have highlighted here, which I've mentioned in my previous video. This is the one I like so far for this book. And let's see what Chat GPT will give me. So I'm just going to say, give me some other similar titles, like, and put that there. Yeah, I love how that just like pops out things. So you could go through this list and you could take all of them and copy them over just because we're using the ideas, or you could take them one at a time of the ones that you like. Let's see if there's anything that pops out to me that could be good. I think another good part about this tool and the way of using it is that it can pop out different phrases, different way of saying things, different words that maybe you wouldn't have thought of before that you could use. Let's see. No, don't really like that one. Author's journey. Navigating the path to a successful nonfiction book. Maybe I'm going to add it here as just consideration. Don't love it necessarily. I think there's good stuff in this next one here. That's kind of nice. I like the crafting and sharing your magnum opus. That's kind of cool. Don't know if I would necessarily say it that way in a final book title, but just as for an idea, it can be helpful. Let's see. Unleash your nonfiction writing potential. No. Creating nonfiction brilliance. No. Guidebook. That's a good title in the way that it tells exactly what the book is going to be about. But generally, when I'm thinking of titling and subtitling, again, I mentioned this briefly in my other video. You want to have something that grabs people here and then says what the book is about in the subtitle. So this part is in the title and says what the book is about, but isn't necessarily like grabbing you as much as like the author's journey or, well, let's see what else here. Publishing perfection. The art of nonfiction. I think this one's close. I like the idea of the art of nonfiction. A writer's guide to finishing, polishing, and sharing. You'd have to say a book or something like that. That's kind of incomplete, but I like the beginning of that. So we're going to have that one too. And if you were still thinking of ones, if you still, none of these really started singing to you and really felt good or were even close, you can try it again. You can do a different search. You can maybe put in another one of your ideas just as a way of expanding. You do have to start with something. I recommend, you could put, give me a book title for a book about this, and it will give you some. But the closer you can get to what you want to finish as, the better it's going to do. So that's what I would recommend for that. For the Headline Studio, let's just take my same title. This is going to be a little bit longer than a standard headline, so I don't even know if it's what it's going to give me. Oh, it says it's terrible. So that's interesting. Basically, it's just because it's too long. But the purpose of this tool is not necessarily for title to worry about the headline score. If you were writing a headline for a blog post, this is very helpful. But the really useful part about this tool is it gives you places where you can change words. You can add different words. It even has word banks. It says increase emotional words. You can open up a word bank here that could potentially be helpful as a starting point. If you're like, hey, I want to add in a little bit more pizzazz to the certain points, you can do that. And then if you scroll down here, it's also helpful. It just gives you a look. Let me X this out. It gives you a look at the beginning, how it's skimmable. You finish your book, and maybe it ends with upon the world. So it shows you that I don't know if you can see that there, but this topic section, they recommend you put that topic in the beginning or the end. So this topic is the same as finish your book, and that's in the beginning, so that works. So yeah, that's just what this tool looks like in very brief, and how you might be able to use it to work on your headlines. And it sees they added this recently, this headline AI that you could look at as well. And then just basic synonym. Let's say I wanted to, I don't really like the word respectable for respectable first draft. It doesn't really work. So maybe we can think of a different word for that. Decent, yeah, modest, ordinary. Yeah, I mean, that's a little bit too basic, I would say. You probably could even use Chat GPT for this synonym thing. I'm just used to using this website. Let's pick a different one. Let's say credible and see what that. And then we can skip over to admirable, and maybe we're getting closer words here. So craft a exquisite first draft, or praiseworthy, unreal, valuable, wonderful, commendable. Let's say we just change it to commendable. I don't know if I love that either, but I feel like that's an upgrade versus like respectable. Because you want a first draft that, when you're handing it out to people and getting people to read is commendable. They would say, hey, good try. If it was an editor, they would say, good try. Here's all the things that you need to work on. You can get to that point where it's maybe a little bit better than just passing. Maybe you can say like craft a better than passing first draft or something like that. I don't know if that really worked in a title, but as you're starting to think about your own book, you can think about things like that. So those are 3 quick tools that you can use to help with your title. But the best thing you can do is keep working on it, keep iterating, keep working, keep going through it as you go through the rest of your outline and as you're working on your book. Anytime you get an insight while you're writing, while you're doing research, while you're doing anything book related, and your mind starts to think, okay, maybe my book is taking a slightly different direction. Go back to the title, create something new that encompasses everything that you're doing so far. That's really the best way to do it. So if you don't have any questions or have any feedback for me on this, please let me know. Otherwise, keep going in this course.